Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're watching from, ladies and gentlemen. It is June 20th. Transfer window open day, whatever. It might even be irrelevant to us at this point. Might even be completely irrelevant to us. Lots of football news, but not lots of football news. Arsenal related. Club World Cup, all this other madness. See, Bluebird in the chat says Florian Wirtz, madness, frenzy, and Merseyside. Meanwhile, it's player exchange madness in North London. And it's Friday, people. And you know it's Friday when I have the Waffle Don himself joining me for an evening stream in the UK. Brother Abz, how are you, my bro? You got your mute on, though.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, bro. How you feeling? How's the weather? I see you, man, getting some ridiculous temperatures over there these past days.
Oh, it's just too hot right now, man. 2 days. This is really hot today. I think it's 28, 29.
Woo.
But yeah, it was like 32, 31, 32 yesterday, which we're not used to having. But, you know, when we have a day like that and then another hot day, you know, we can't take it over here. And I know I've got melanin skin, but we're not used to it over here. So, yeah, you're just hot and bothered, innit? And because we don't have aircon as well, you just got a fan on like all day, running down your electric bill.
Yeah.
It's hard, man.
I hear it. But, bro, last week we were here and we discussed something, man. Towards the end of the video, you asked a question. I went and looked up the clip, and I'm going to play the clip real quick just so we can refresh the memory of what we were at.
Yeah. Sorry, next week, Friday, what's your expectations? Who's coming in next week?
Next week, I think Zubimendi might be done, and I think we'll still be haggling over Sesko or Gyökeres.
Really?
Yeah.
Still haggling.
Mm-hmm.
What are we haggling over? What are we haggling over? Wages, the signing on fee. What are we haggling over?
Yeah, it'll be one of those: wages, signing on fee, agent fees. It will be something other than medical booked. It's never one. Fast forward. I said might. I said Zubimendi might. I didn't say will. I said might be done.
Well, Day's doing his stuff, in it. So technically, it could be done today, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's I don't even know if we're still haggling with Sesko. I don't even, because I'm hearing that no official bid has been made. It's just talk. It's just, we want a striker, blah blah blah. But there was a medical book today, but it was in Merseyside for the big boy, the biggest fish in the pond, so to speak. So bro. But before we get into the transfer talk and all that madness, I see the legends in the chat. Got to shout them out. I see Alvin. I see Bluebird saying Florian Frenzy in Liverpool. The assembled is here. Big in the air, man. Gavin, please tell us that you are well. The legend AJ is here. Big up, man. Hope everything is good. He's got your link in the chat. For anyone who's not subscribed to Abz, please go and do so. The assembled says Blunderman strikes again. Partey leaving no cover midfield is going to be more needed than a striker. So yeah, we are creating more problems for ourselves, right? Before the season even begins. Now, did you do a video on this Partey thing that I didn't see?
No, I've not done a video on. Do you know what? I'll be honest, I haven't done no videos. I've been kind of jumping onto everyone else's streams at the moment. I've been a bit lazy, a little bit. I'm just waiting for concrete things before I start talking on it. But we can talk about that if you want.
Yeah, because it's all the sources that we trust, and from all what we see, the evidence of it says that he is probably going to go. So if Partey is going, and we're getting now, we need two midfielders. If Partey and Jorginho goes, we need two midfielders, but we're only linked with Zubimendi.
Yes, correct.
So that's a problem for me.
Correct. Yeah, big problem. First on Partey, people, rightfully so, talk about his injury past. But let's talk about the positives about Thomas Partey and what he's brought to the club. You know, he's brought a kind of stability in midfield. Excellent midfielder. At one point, I know we were saying it was Rodri and Thomas Partey as the best DMs in the Premier League.
Yep, that was a conversation.
Deluded, but there was a conversation there. I'm not saying Partey was better. I'm just saying those were the two best midfielders being talked about. Weren't no one else entering the fray. I feel for Partey in a way how he's been treated as well by Arteta as well. I know he's often been played in as a right back.
Yeah.
Which I think, you know, hampered a lot of our performances. We lost a lot of games with him playing as a right back. You don't get the best out of Partey in that position. And I feel that in this season where he's been fit, what is the point of playing him in that position? You know, this is probably his best season. I think he 22, I'm sure he played about 33 games, but I think he got a hamstring injury, I think the next season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was out for the whole season, if I'm correct. I'm not too sure if I'm... Yeah, sentiments to what you just mentioned about, you know, Partey going. I don't think we've got anyone who's going to replace him. I don't think, and I don't know what Zubimendi's about. Maybe TKA, I see him in the chat as well. Make sure you go and subscribe to TKA as well. In the building. On his first stream the other day, so make sure you go and show him love, people. Make sure you click on Arsenal fan, Galatasaray fan, just like myself. And yeah, man, he knows his stuff. But yeah, on to Partey, man. There's no one in the first 11 that has his skill set in that position.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Yeah, he can play a pass. He can read the game better than most. You know, he was just an excellent cog, and I'm talking like he's actually left already. He's just an excellent cog in our team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to change the dynamics of how we play for a start. You know, obviously Partey as well, the physicality as well. Obviously, sometimes you get pushed off the ball, and he has the odd tenacity sometimes to, you know, have a bit of a bad moment, but far less than most. And he can score a banger every now and again. We've seen him score, you know, against Spurs, and you know, we've seen him just lever that football. So I think him going is going to be a massive miss, and I think we're going to be changing as a football club, Tyrant.
Changing for the worst.
You think so?
Day 20 without a striker, like Godfrey says, big up to God. But here's the problem for me with the whole Thomas Partey thing. Someone needs to ask this question to Mikel or someone at the club. How does it make sense for you as a club to extend Sambi Lakonga's contract, but let Partey go?
Oh, man.
If you have 12 months to give one of those players, surely you give it to our best performing midfielder last year. Sambi hasn't kicked the ball for us in 2 years. So Zubimendi comes in. Okay, Partey goes. Zubimendi gets an injury. Then what happens? We have a lot of games to play. He gets an injury. Where's our cover? Where's our depth? Not even an injury. What about our cup runs? So we're going to play him in the FA Cup and the EFL Cup games as well. Partey they have to do a U-turn on this. You
know the easiest thing, and like, I know we're not accountants and we're not financial, we don't work at the club and stuff like that. But I thought the easiest thing would be just to give him a 1-year extension. I think TK was talking about this, and I think you mentioned this as well. A 1-year rolling extension, you know, see how it goes after next year, you know, because Zubimendi now has to come in to hit the ground running now. He's not coming in as, you know what, okay, we're seeing how, you know, learning the ropes, seeing how Partey plays and stuff like that. He's coming in now as the main guy. Now, I've got a problem with that. I've got a problem for that, because if he's that good that I'm hearing people talk about, because I've not really watched this guy. And coming from La Liga to the Premier League, yeah, for me, I think it's a difference. It's a change.
It is.
I'm not saying one league is better than the other, but it's a different type of mentality, a different physicality. It's different in this league. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he's one of these bruisers that's prepared to get kicked up, pressed the hell out of, yeah, and then, you know, he can get his way out of trouble and he can handle himself, then fair play.
Yeah.
And those who know about Zubamende in the chat, then tell me, you know what, he's an excellent player. I heard he's very good technically. I heard he's decent in the air. He's very good in the air. You know, he's Spanish, so I'm assuming he's got a pass on him as well. He can ping a pass and stuff like that. But I am a bit concerned, and this is where it comes down to the manager again.
Yeah.
His experience as a manager is really telling. You know, he's just willing to just let an experienced guy like Thomas Partey just go.
Yeah.
You know. Obviously they tried to negotiate some kind of, and you know, Thomas Partey is probably not happy with the negotiation or whatever. I don't know the full ins and outs of it, but it's concerning that we're letting our best players go.
Yeah, it's concerning that Zubamendi in for Partey is not enough for me. Most of the people who watch Zubamendi watch him play for Spain national level. Right. That's completely different. And most Premier League fans don't watch that unless they're playing Barca or Real Madrid. You know, so it's very concerning for me. I didn't even yesterday when the news broke, I was like, oh my God, man, not again. Now we're not about to do this again, surely. But big up Harvey 22. You know, Harvey's out in your stomping ground out there in Turkey, man. So you know.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Whereabouts? Big up, man. Big up to Harvey, man.
Yeah, he told me yesterday, but I forgot. But big up
Harvey, man.
AJ says, Jets, Thomas Partey wants $250K another 2 years. Honestly, give it to him and move on because we can't afford to replace him right now. And that's a great point, because if you let him go, it's going to cost you more to replace him anyway. Right? So, yeah, you give him a year deal and a club option for the following year. And if he plays well again, then you trigger that option and you keep him. But I think if Zubamendi, Partey is your fourth and fifth choice cover, I'm calm. If he becomes our Jorginho for the next season, cool. Because we know there's quality cover there, but just can't let him go and go to another Premier League club or go somewhere else and bang, especially this year when there's no AFCON. You're going to get him for the entire year. Yeah. You know? Well, there's AFCON, but Ghana didn't qualify from what I'm being told. Big up.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Ghana didn't qualify for the AFCON. So Partey only time you're going to lose him or have any kind of dip in his form or any concerns is Ramadan. You know,
not even then. I kind of disagree with that. I don't think he will.
No, last year he didn't play well, but I have seen players during Ramadan energy levels drop, and I completely understand it. You know, because I can't run 5 miles, you know, and so to play a Premier League football match at the highest level, not eating or drinking all day, it's a tough one. And it's not like the Premier League schedule accommodates for that. They put you on a late evening kickoff, a 12:30 kickoff. I can get, but you know, late kickoff, it's a mad one. But yeah, man, big up to AJ. He's putting TK linked in the chat. Yeah, man. The assemblers of the excuses for Partey released is Bergkamp accepted 1 year early contract. Plus, he wants more money. How does Trossard get more money?
Trossard's
no more time, but gets more money, but no contract extension. This is
Trossard's been told by the manager that, you know what, he's moody. You know, they had their run out, their fallout. And you know, there was talk of Trossard wanting to leave, but now he's getting a pay rise. This guy, man, I'm telling you, man, that's
the absolute mad one. That is the absolute mad one. Godfrey, big up everybody in the chat. Arteta gonna learn how big of he will, very quickly. Like Abz said, if Zubamendi, that adjustment period is very short, very very short. The first game is Man United away. You know, it's a very quick learning curve. So he has to hit the ground running. Let's not forget Ethan is out of contract at the end.
You see that one?
We have to sort that out.
I've got a feeling he's gonna go. You know.
Yeah, he has to sort that out.
I've got a feeling he's gonna go. I just don't see Arteta giving Ethan enough playtime.
Yeah,
and the way he treated him towards the end of the season, when he only gave him a game against Southampton.
Yeah,
you know, did he get on the pitch against PSG?
No.
This is what I'm saying, yeah. And
he got on the pitch in the first leg. He got like 6 minutes. Odegaard came up.
Oh yeah.
He came on, gave Martinelli a chance that he sent up in the rafters. You know, so that conversation should be an uncomfortable one when he sits down and be like, okay, man, you know, I can't just be a backup for Saka. I need minutes. Or if you
hold on a second.
Go on.
Cool. It's cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that conversation has to be had, and that contract has to be ironed out. We cannot let that young gem go out the door. Big up to Loudmouth Football, another Liverpool fan celebrating Florian Friday. Big up.
Look at them. Look, they're all out today.
Yeah. Big up to him. Bro, your silence in the group is unwarranted. You got to be the loudest. I can't, bro. I have nothing to say in the group chat, Udi. I have nothing. I just have to let the man them do their thing. I have nothing to say. I'm trophyless, signingless, all the lessons. Nothing to say. Nothing. I just have to be quiet until my club moves differently. Have you heard the Timbers in the... Yeah, bro. Listen.
I haven't heard. What's this? What's this all about?
I gotta come back to that, but you know, I thought Eros done took off, but we found him, gentlemen. We found Eros.
Roseo born stunner. I can blow money. 50 when I'm shopping. That ain't no money. I got my jeans sagging. Money stuff.
Eros was in Paris shopping. That's where he was. That's why we.
Okay.
But we found him. He's
back. Got him, man. We got him.
He's back. But yeah, the Timber interview, bro. It's kind of, I caught the back part of it on View's channel this morning when they were going through it with Vigilante. And he was talking about playing while he was hurt, while he was injured and didn't get enough time to train in the PSG leg. Like he said, he didn't even train that week and he started to hurt. And the coach was like, you know, you still have to play him through injuries. And that's how he re-injured all his stuff. He did it to Rice. He did it to Ben White. He's doing it to Timber. So he's complaining about having a small squad, but he's overplaying the players and he's making our squad thinner by letting Partey go. This could be the beginning of you losing the dressing room because the players will stick together. The players are going to protect each other for their playing careers over a coach who had an extended playing career and now is trying to destroy theirs. Yeah, it's a great read. I haven't read it, but from what I Vigilante was reading out some of the quotes live on the air. So, you know, what I got from it, it's not a good look. It puts Arteta in a real bad light. And Timber is not a guy that comes off as he has an agenda against Arteta. Like Arteta signed him, so he's very, very believable. But yeah, bro, it's not a good look, man. But
I need to watch in it before I can comment on it. But you know what? It's what is it not to believe apart from these dumbass transfers? Yeah, about Arteta. What is it not to believe? Yeah, do you know what I mean? We all know that. We all know the type of guy he is. You know, so you know as much as the players love him as a coach and stuff like that. You know, they can't speak up. They can't speak out against him. You know what I mean? Whilst they're playing at the club, innit? You know, and you know, forcing players to play and all this kind of nonsense is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Because you know what? What happens if you turn around and say no? Is that going to be your place now? You won't be able to get back into the team.
The Vigilante made some great comments on it this morning, man. Madden, he shouldn't have been playing, bro. He should not have been playing. He should have been chilling and just not chilling, but bro, you play hurt, not injured, right? The man was injured and was forced to play, which is criminal behavior because we've seen what it did to Ben White, and it's just a bad one. But speaking of transfers, bro, yeah, yesterday on stream, I think it was LFC Monster, or one of the legends in the chat, broke the story that we were linked to Nani Madueke from Chelsea, and didn't pay any attention to it. I'm like, okay, man, there's no way I can read this out, man. It's not really true. And then I see it on Sky, and it started to get.
Oh, you saw it on Sky, did you? Yeah, it's on Sky as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like the same way I dismissed the Kai Havertz looks like, nah, bro, we cannot be that stupid. That's not true. It's just an agent looking for hype. It's on Sky Sports, and then it was Godfrey. Okay, yeah, big up Godfrey. Yeah.
Is he due for a contract renewal or something?
No, I think his contract is fine. I just think Chelsea have made a decision on him the same way they made a decision on Havertz. And our transfer policy is fundamentally flawed if this is what they told us that we were going to get goosebumps about. Because that's 2 Chelsea players now, Kepa and now Madueke. And I've heard a couple of weeks ago they were in Nkunku links because he wasn't happy with his playing time, so he was looking for a move for Arsenal.
What is with all these Chelsea players, man? Are we not rivals or something? What's going on, man?
Like, do we not learn? Do we not learn? It seems like, because
someone loves Chelsea players. That's all I'm going to say at Arsenal. And if it's the manager that's loving all these players, why didn't you go and manage Arteta? Why don't you go and manage Chelsea, man, after your career at Arsenal? Because getting players like Havertz and Jorginho, and now we're being linked to Madueke, who I don't think is a bad player, by the way. I do like Madueke, but after how many seasons? Yeah, is this the level raiser? Is this the level raiser that we've been waiting for? Another Chelsea rival, Madueke, who Chelsea fans are quite split on. Some of them, turn around and say he's got an attitude, he's, this and that, and you know what? I've seen decent bits of him, but also as well, I don't think he's the level raiser that Arsenal needs. I think we need a much better player. I think we need a much better, bigger player, bigger star that is recognised, in Europe or in world football.
Yeah, he's not what we need. And the thing is, Madueke predominantly plays on the right. If he's coming to be, to push Saka, be a backup for Saka, but the left wing and the striker is where we need an upgrade.
Yes.
So, Rodrigo, Rafael Leao, all these men is what we're linked to, that we should be linked to, but we're linked with a right winger who from Chelsea who's out of form.
How much is it? How much is he gonna cost realistically? Because it's that English tax again.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not coming for less than 40 million, I don't think.
Yeah, I can see it being on at or around that price range.
Plus
or minus 10 million, for the English tax, like you said.
I just don't feel 40 million, for someone to just not for me. He's hardly gonna get games anyway. He can play on the left as well. I'll give him that, but is he the level raiser though above Martinelli? Maybe ability-wise, he's probably got a little bit more to him.
He's much more. He can ball handling, dribbling, getting. Yeah, he's got that, but it's
just not.
Yeah, it's not the needle mover that we need. Yeah. And speaking of, but big up to why not? Trossard saying Partey going, seeing all the nothing.
All for nothing
documentary, had enough warm bodies in the midfield and probably had no interest in buying the new left winger. Sell one near sell Saliba. Yeah, at this point, it seems like he's just doing more damage than good to the club, right? And the transfer window, right? If you had to rate Liverpool's transfer window right now, what would you give it?
Out of 10 or out of 5?
Yeah, out of 10. Yeah, out of 10. And that goes for the Liverpool fans in the chat as well. What would you rate your transfer window as of?
Do you know what? Yeah, I know they're still going to be doing more, but I'm gonna say 7.5.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say 7.5 because they haven't finished yet.
Yeah.
And that will go up. That will definitely go up to like a 8.2, 8.5. But come on now, Wirtz is the level raiser, innit? You know, Kirkez nearly, done. Excellent left winger or left back. They've also got Frimpong as well. So the business is looking good. If they bring in Isak, bro.
Yeah.
Brother, we're talking about 9.5.
Now we're talking about 9-10, right?
Yeah, 9.5, 10, bro.
Yeah. So that's what I was getting at. If the team that they would finish 10 points clear of us last year, right? And their transfer window is levels above us. Because right now we're at a 0. We might even be in the negative. We're at a 0 for 0 in our transfer window. 0 for 10. 0 for 10. Not. And they're putting that 8 out of 10 performance. We're already not at the races. Now I know the fixture list came out last week. We spoke on the fixture list weeks ago before it even came out. And we said, brother, I don't care if it's the first 5 games is Anfield away, Stamford Bridge, blah blah blah. Now the fixture list comes out, and as we knew what was going to happen, the fan base was going to have a meltdown on how difficult it's going to be and all this stuff. But we're not even going to go there. Because we know that we've always said a slow start, and he has to be gone. He just has to be. Because we have proven that we can't walk anyone down. We have to start strong and bang. And one of the things that Arteta defenders use to defend him is the fact that our record against the top 6 is so good. We're so good against the top 6. Then we get the schedule, and it has a couple of top 6 teams in there. What's the problem? There shouldn't be no problem. Big up to Sabby Pink. He said, enough love. Big up to you, girl. Love watching your show. Looking forward to you going live daily. Oh, man, you're far too kind, baby girl. Far too kind. Far, far too kind. E-Raw said, Mr. Blunderman, the Blunderman, no doubt one of the best fill in the blanks I've ever seen in my entire life. He's either the dumbest genius or the smartest fool you've ever seen. Arteta, Mr. Blunderman. Because there is no way you can make a injury. You blamed the injuries last year, and then you're going to make your squad thinner. So unless there's only a Partey replacement can replace a Partey, it's not going to be Sambi Lakanga. He hasn't kicked the ball for us for 2 years.
When are the fans, the Arsenal fans, going to start calling this manager overrated? Because he's come in, he's done some good things, but now all this good that he's doing is being unraveled. And if we're not careful,
this is true here.
His legacy is gonna burn us to the ground, man.
Yeah.
Overrated, the most overrated manager, in the Premier League right now, and the most, he's getting loads of money, and he's not bringing us anything. Now, there's people that's probably watching this, from outside that we know, bigger probably content creators that like, oh, why is he always complaining about the manager? Why is he always talking about the manager? I'm not on the Twitter out or in or whatever. Do you know what? I don't need to keep talking about Arteta out or in, but I can show you evidence of how he's messing us up. You guys are always, all I'm seeing is the big streamers like doing the same thing day in, day out, talking about where is the signings, what's going on, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So this has to be like directed at your manager, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? And the owners, obviously, but the manager for me represents is the shield for the owners, and whether you want to believe that we're going to be doing business next month because of PSR or whatever nonsense, you still can get players over the line now. Do you understand, Jay? You still can get players over the line. Whether Bert as well, or may I say Bert, because it's fine.
There you go. Glad you caught yourself.
Whether Bert is one of these guys that plays everything close to his chest is another thing as well. I heard, he tries to not let anything out. So we don't know if there's some gems around the corner. We don't know. We don't know what's happening. So I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, BBK, man. I really don't know what to say.
Yeah. Big up to Godfrey, and this is a great point as well, because Ben White was available for that game, and he still, decided to, risk the well-being of a player. So if you are the player, and this manager does this to you, it's very hard for you to go hard and go fly in full 100% in every tackle for this manager. You start to tune him out because he almost tried to ruin your career, inadvertently or whatever. But if he knows you're carrying an injury, if the medical staff tells him you're carrying an injury, and he still plays you, because a player, he's going to play. He's going to be a professional. He's not going to refuse to play.
But why? Why wouldn't a player refuse to play if they know that
it's football culture, man?
That is pain, man. They know that it's going to. Is it adrenaline?
Yeah, football culture at the highest level, Champions League semifinal, he's going to play. Gonna play. It's one of them ones where players get blackballed all the time when coaches, do stuff like that and say, he's. And one of the reasons why. So if you look right now, right, everyone is talking about either Gyökeres or Sesko. Why is there any noise around Osimhen or Jonathan David? You notice that?
Or who's the other one? Who's the other? There's another player as well, Watkins.
Yeah, there's not enough noise around Osimhen's name based on his output. So it's something other than football why he is not being in the mix. You know what I mean? So, and that's part of the inner circles of football and how it works sometimes when this.
Know what makes me sick? Sorry, you know what makes me sick about people? Yeah, people talk about Osimhen's got this and he wants too much money and he's got an attitude and all that. The guy was being racially abused at his club, Napoli. Yeah? People seem to forget, that he was absolutely ridiculed at Napoli, Hence why he went to Galatasaray and was shown loads of love. Ask TKA, about Osimhen, I've watched Osimhen most of this season at Galatasaray, and it's a different league. We get that, but you know what? We can always have that argument about players playing in different leagues and banging, and do you know what I mean? Coming to this league, we will never be able to measure a player if they go to another league and they don't bang. So what? We're never going to be interested. The argument is, or the debate is that Osimhen's banged in Napoli. He's banged in Turkey. How can he not bang in England? The guy's a physical specimen. He's great in the air. Do you know what I'm saying? His link-up play is not as bad as people think. He might be demanding 250 grand a week. I think he turned down a 600 grand a week contract at Saudi.
So clearly it's not about the money. The man wants to play top level football. It's clearly not about the money, or he would have been in Saudi. And he would be now in the Club World Cup, showcasing his talent. Exactly.
And this is what I mean with football today is just strange. Another thing as well, and just to slightly go off topic slightly, What's that? Why can't we play 4-4-2 anymore? Why do we have to play this robotic 4-3-3 now? What's happened to the two strikers? Please, someone bring back two strikers again. Imagine having an Osimhen and a Gyökeres up top. Can you imagine the amount of damage?
Well, it's coaching
for teams.
That requires coaching. That would require Arteta to change his coaching or his management style, and he doesn't have one.
Isn't he a great coach? This is what he's quoted.
He's a Pep copycat. That's what he is. He doesn't have that. And I saw you posted that question this morning on your I don't know if you saw my response to it, right? But my response was the answers that you had. I had none of these. I was like, nope, I don't want none of those of the options. I would say Mbeumo and someone else because he has proven that he can play another striker and still bang 20 Premier League goals while the other striker eats. So
he'd be a brilliant second striker, Mbeumo, because he leads the line. He's very good as well. Like him and
Wissa.
Tony, him and Wissa as well. Very, very good combination together.
Big up Vigilante. He said it was the Dutch medical staff national team that diagnosed the scan for Timber's injury. Shows the incompetence of the Arsenal medical staff. And the number of injuries that we had this year backs up the last 5 words of that sentence, the incompetence of the Arsenal medical staff. And you add that with a stubborn coach who keeps overplaying players, this is what happens.
So let me ask you a question then, because we blame the owners quite a lot.
Okay, say though. Oh, go on.
We blame the owners quite a lot, yeah? Can you blame the owners for the medical staff incompetence? Because medical staff is a profession that is taken seriously.
Right.
Yeah? And what their decision making is crucial, you know, to the club, to the team, to the management, to the players. Yeah, we can't blame the owners for that, can we?
Yeah. No, the owners holding the only thing the owners owe the medical staff is to do their due diligence to make sure that they're qualified. That's it. You make sure they are qualified personnel to protect your assets, because the players are your investments, right? You need ROI on those players, so you have to make sure you hire the best medical staff available. But yeah, the owners can't hold any corn for that. This is completely on them. Large up on themselves, BBK and Waffle. Big up to why not, man. And AJ said the only player should be taken from Chelsea is Palmer. I agree. And I'll take Caicedo. And I asked Normski yesterday, I said, do you think if we approach Chelsea right now and gave him 100 million for Palmer, they would take it?
Ooh, you see that question? Bro.
I don't think they would, you know. I don't think they would.
That's my first instinct, but it's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but I think they value Palmer. They value him a hell of a lot more than that, and to what he does for their team. They don't value Nkunku. They don't value Havertz. That's why they were willing to give.
And their fans would go mental. Their fans would go crazy if they sold their asset to us for they would go wild.
Yeah, and you know why the Victor Osimhen only wants the salary demands for Osimhen is a bad look for the club who doesn't want to sign him, especially if it's us. If he wants 250, bro, Kai Havertz is on 280.
Yeah.
Jesus is on 250. So he's well within his right to demand top money if he's scoring twice as much as them. Like, why would I want to be on less money as if I'm putting out twice the production? It doesn't make any sense. Well, we want to take a discount.
Your words still make me shiver to this day about Havertz starting this season as the main striker. Every time before I go to sleep, you know what I mean? I just hear those words, Havertz, you know, is going to be our main striker. I just see that clip in my head. Havertz is going to be our main striker starting at the start of the season. Oh, man.
June 20th, bro. It's June 20th, and no one has came through the door yet. So he is, you know, he's training. He's transformed his body. Remember, he has transformed his body. You know, he has rearranged the weight room. You know, he's, you know.
What do you think is going on with Gyökeres though? Because all I'm hearing is Gyökeres wants Arsenal. He's told his family he wants Arsenal. Do you think there's something in the air? Not the chemtrails, the Gyökeres trails are in the air right now, and it's sprinkling over the Emirates. What is there something going on, or what is it? Or we just want Sesko. We just mad over Sesko.
I think Arteta wants Sesko. I think the fans are crying out for the guy who is more inclined to score more goals for us, seeing how dead our attack was last year. Seeing Everton come to the Emirates and hold us to a 0-0 draw. You know, seeing us go to Forest, 0-0 draw, 1-1 Everton away. Drawing with Brighton home and away, couldn't break down Fulham. You know, seeing us lose all 4 semifinal matches. We played 4 semifinals, lost all of them, only scored 1 goal. The fans are begging for someone who knows where the net is, not a 22-year-old prodigy from Germany. You know, I think if Sesko goes to Liverpool, he has time to bet in and improve and grow. If he goes to like Newcastle, one of those places with a bona fide striker, but he's coming to be another Havertz. You know, another Havertz ain't having a good day today. Like for like sub. You know, it's Timber Rice, Havertz, Sesko, Martinelli, Trossard, Jorginho, Partey. You know, it's like for like. That's what he's, you know, careful. Yeah. You know, and he packages it as, oh, it's control. We want to control the game with this U-shaped football and all this madness.
Do you think then, if Sesko does come in, do you think he eventually will replace Havertz? If he actually does come in?
Not under this manager.
Oh, no.
I don't think people really grasp how much Arteta loves him, you know. I really don't. Like he loves this.
How does he love him so much?
He loves this guy to the point where you made him the highest paid player at the club before he even kicked the ball for us. That's criminal. That's
Do you think there's a kind of like, I felt sorry for Havertz. I wanted to give him a chance. He wasn't, he was neglected by Chelsea. I've got a moral responsibility to make him one of the best players in the world. No, I'm asking the question because how does he love this guy so much? Is this guy, he just doesn't complain in training, he's good at training.
Yeah, he comes off as a really nice guy, team player, probably donates a lot to charity. Always.
Because I heard he's a nice guy. A nice guy.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he is, but nice guy, we need goals. We need goals, bro. Can you be nice and score goals? Like because we will take an asshole who score goals versus a nice guy who doesn't. I'm sorry, it's football. You know what I mean?
But Romario, can you remember Romario? Bagsman, yeah. He was a demon inside, like when he scored his goals, he didn't mess about. We need someone like that, man, that just does a killer. You know what? You got certain guys at work here that I just do my work. I want to go home. I'm not here to make friends. But those guys are the best performers because you know what? They don't want to be at the after party at work, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, making a fool of themselves and trying to just going up the train. They just want to do their work, get on with it. And then when you look back, you think, oh, that guy's performance,
Yeah.
You know what? He didn't really say too much, but you know what? His target, his KPIs were on point.
Yeah. Does anyone think Suarez was a nice guy? The Liverpool man, he was right. Nice guy. But he was nice in front of goal, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Man was suspended for like 6 games and still back 31 Premier League goals. So that's what we need, bro. That's what we need. So the miss me with the nice guy stuff, man. I have enough nice people in my life in general. Exactly. My football team. I need. You can't have 11 Suarez's on the pitch. Man, gonna be biting everybody. And you can't have that. But you need 1 or 2. You know what I mean? If that happens to be the guy that knows where the net is, so be it.
And this is a problem for us because if you look at Man City, for example, Man City, Rodri's got a bit of a bite to him. Edison's got a bit of a bite to him. Diaz, even, some of them guys are not nice guys on the pitch. Yeah, they've got a little bit of oomph to them. Yeah, you look at Liverpool, Van Dijk. He's probably like the nicest one, but he's got a bit of a killer to him. Canute. Yeah. Everyone in their team, has got some kind of, like, look when we had, even when we had Xhaka, there was something about him. He didn't take like when it came to the beef, he was there, innit?
Yeah.
Who in our team, apart from Gabriel, when it comes to the beef, is there? Partey never used to be there. Yeah. Partey's on the other side of the pitch.
Yeah, I think Ben White has some shithousery in him.
Ben White as well. But apart from that,
but it's
who else? Who else?
That's it.
Because everyone's nice.
Yeah.
Nice guys don't win leagues, bro.
Yeah. Big up to Hendo Guna. Yeah, we touched on it right before you jumped into the stream, bro. It was just it's just another criminal. And Views did a deep dive in it this morning with the vigilante.
I think he's going to get sanctioned for this, Timber, for saying something like that because that's going to come out. Yeah, that doesn't look good.
Yeah. So if he's on the bench and then Ben White starts right back, then we know what's up. Right? Then we know what's up.
We're looking at Hato as well. Isn't it?
Yeah. Why not? It's not the same with Saka and Rice and the England medical. See? Yeah. Them men are just out here playing 90 minutes, limping off, and then go play another 120 for England. So Arteta played Timber White. Yep. What a bro. Criminal. Absolute madness, man. But this is us. Man, just killing us with more, with more bad news when we should be getting goosebumps. His words, not mine, people. Big up to Dre FC. Said Arsenal need a striker, yes, but I think need a left winger more than even more because the attack is lopsided from the right. It's absolutely lopsided from the right, and that's the thing that I actually gave Arteta credit for in the previous season. Not this one just passed, because the right, all our attack came down the right hand side. I'm surprised more teams didn't work us out. That trend,
Yeah, exactly.
But he's had 2 years to fix that, and he hasn't. He hasn't. But we got to Jay still. Either the Arsenal medical staff is crap and or weak, and Arteta is not listening. See, that's it. That's right. They are not caring, giving bad info, or he's just stick his head in the sand and be like, nah, these players are soft and they can play. They're young. If you're injured, you're injured. You know what I mean?
Do you think Arteta is still? I know he's been here now 6 years as well now, but he's still fairly inexperienced. Or would you give him experience now? Or I don't know.
It's a good question. It's a fair question. It's someone was telling me the other day, when now that Thomas Frank has been appointed, big up to Tony Claude, big up
my boy Tony, man.
Subscribing to Tony. Someone, Spurs hired Thomas Frank, right? So now Sky Sports is doing this long deep dive into Thomas Frank's career and how he's gone, and they showed where his journey in coaching from this team to that team to Brentford, now to Tottenham, and then they compared that to Arteta's journey to Arsenal, and I'm sitting there like, there is some, because along that journey, if you're Thomas Frank, you learn a lot. You learn a lot about people, their families, how to manage, how to deal with this situation, how to deal with that situation.
Yeah.
So 5 years in terms of managerial experience might sound like a lot of time, but I think you're onto something there. That no, he is still very inexperienced to be given this club, but not an excuse. But he's still, he is still learning on the job.
Club of this magnitude.
Yeah, and you would think if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna be the inexperienced manager of a big club, you better have some seasoned assistants. You better have had man who's managed Premier League clubs before, who aren't really getting the big jobs now, but that experience is invaluable. But his arrogance won't allow that. He will not allow some experienced man to undermine his authority. He has to be, hey, I sat next to Pep. This is how it's gonna be. And that first title charge bought him enough credit with the board and enough of the fans that first year to validate him. And then the second year, and now it's going the other way, and those people are slowly starting to shift. But like, maybe you have peaked.
Yeah,
but that's a great point. I fully hear that.
Didn't one of his boys, is it Carlos Cuesta or whatever? He's moving on now, isn't he?
Yeah, he went to Parma, right? Parma, a lower Italian, right? Just like Fabregas, twice the player Arteta was. Como, you learn, right? Xavi went to Saudi to learn. Then he came to Barcelona and won the league. He just went, you know what I'm saying? He hasn't developed. He hasn't developed. Like, he skipped the line. We allowed him to skip the line as a club, and we're paying for it. We are paying for it because no one can tell me that Feyenoord was, the biggest and the toppest of jobs, but the experience that it gave Slot helped him at Liverpool. That's a great point, man. That is a great point. Big up to everyone in the chat. Chat's been legendary today, people. Absolute legendary, man. Big up to every single one. Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards are having blinders this summer. When you got the right people in charge, you can make the right things happen. I even heard Liverpool are linked with Mark Gahey today.
Who? Us?
No, Liverpool. Liverpool are linked with Gahey.
Hold on.
I think there's some with Konate going, and he can come in now, and then when Virgil leaves in 2 years, he is ready. You know?
And Kwanzaa as well. They're talking about Kwanzaa. He's agreed personal terms with Bayer Leverkusen, I believe.
Yeah, and they were selling for £30 million, bro. £30 million they're selling it for. And now we can't sell Zinchenko because AC Milan can't afford his wages. Now I understand. When I looked at Liverpool wage bill yesterday, I realized why Liverpool can get £30 million for Kwanzaa. You know how much he's on?
10 grand.
15. He's on £50 million a week, bro.
But you would think Zinchenko, if he wants to play first team football, you don't think he'd take a pay cut? Or These guys are just
not him.
Happy now.
Yeah,
they're comfortable now.
Yeah, he's comfortable. He's in London. He's doing a lot of charitable work in Ukraine. He needs that money. Yeah, he's not walking away from that. It's kind of like Harry Maguire at Man United when West Ham and all these other clubs want him. Man, it's like, bro, I'm on almost do something. I'm not.
Is he on good money? Yeah, Maguire.
He was on great money. He wasn't trying to leave that. Big up, man. Big up to Why Not. Bigging up Hando Gunner and the original. Yeah, man. Big up to BX Gunner in the building. We're always linked with misfits. Yep. That's what we talked about last week, bro. When we got to assemble some furniture, we just start throwing shit together. We don't read the instructions. That's why we get misfits. Liverpool are reading the instructions for their football manual. Oh, we need a right back, a left back. Oh, McAllister gave us, and LFC Monster, correct me if I'm wrong, but McAllister played primarily as a 10 for you last year. McAllister had 5 assists, 5 goals. Odegaard had 3 goals, 8 assists. Orange Slat is like 5 and 5, not good enough. Let me go get, even though we won the league with you putting out 5 and 5, let me go get Verts and get some more creativity there. Strengthening from a position of strength. And I hear no Liverpool fan, not one. Not LFC Monster, not Big Preach, not Scants, not D-Dubs, none of them. I haven't heard any of them say, well, Verts coming in, where's McAllister going to play? Where's Gravenberch going to play?
Yeah, exactly. None of that talk. I've not heard one thing.
But let us get linked with, not Madueke, but let us get linked with someone with a good left foot who can play out wide.
Elise or something like that. Oh, that's gonna kill Saka,
Yeah, you know what I mean. And you see the difference. That's the difference between the mentality of our fan base and them, and that's why them men are just, are the jealousy of all football fans right now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm fully jealous.
I was hearing Hooks, big up to Hooks, my brother. I was hearing Hooks saying that because he was talking about Wirtz coming into the team and maybe Isak, that Salah's not gonna score as many goals. I think that's, I think that's a good thing. Because you're spreading the goals round now. You're not just reliant on one player who's coming towards the higher end, or of his career. It has to revolve at some point.
Yeah, big up to Rashid from it.
Big up Rashid.
Because that's the thing. If you remember the year that Salah scored 44 goals, that year when he was just scoring goals, they didn't win the league. The next year, his goals tallies dropped. Mane's improved. Firmino's improved, and that's the year they ran away with the league in 2020. Yeah, Salah, he doesn't. Mo Salah that doesn't have to give you 27 goals and 18 assists is a more dangerous Mo Salah. Exactly. You know what I mean? Because now he's gonna. Well, it's peak. It is peak, man. BX Gunner says it really a dumpster diving for us. Yeah, we're dumpster diving in Chelsea's trash. That's what we're doing. That's what we're absolutely doing. But
I heard he was linked to a Leicester player today as well. Is it El Canus or something like that? But I think they might have been rubbished off as well. So everyone's just trying to link us to everyone at the moment. I'm not taking anything serious until I see Fabrizio reporting it, or the Athletic, Ornstein and that as well. So I'm not gassing up anything until I see some real, real meat about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. LFC Monster said bought Wirtz for 100 million, sold Kwanzaa for Leverkusen for the fee goes down to and then don't forget the 10 million you got for Trent from Real Madrid. So it is. Exactly. It adds up. Big up again, Waffle. Rashid bigging us up. Some more dappings going on. Yeah, man. Big up. But the Ethan thing, right? Ethan is a kid, right? He is 18. He can't go just knock on the manager's door and throw a stink and demand more playing time, right? I think it's going to be up to the fans to demand that he plays. You know what I mean? Like at the Emirates game, we're playing we're playing Leeds and we're up 3-0. You see Ethan on the bench and Saka is out there still. And then you see everybody but Ethan warming up. The crowd starts chanting, "We want Ethan." You send the message.
Let me tell you something, BBK, Clubs are already looking at Ethan already,
Yeah.
Maybe having little conversations with his agents already. Ethan is a big talent, There's no debating that. He's smacking it up in the under 19s right now, tournament right now. We've seen what Ethan can do, even in the Champions League when he does that little janky, bends it round, bends it like, Beckham. Do you know what I'm saying? This guy, yeah, and I don't want to get too gassed up about him, right? But he's a very good player, yeah.
He's
And
an amazing talent.
If we're not careful, yeah, one of the big teams, someone will, you know what, turn his head, and then we're going to be in problems because, you know what, we earlier conversation was about this manager, yeah. There's better managers out there than you know, that'll put their arm around his shoulder, pause. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and give him that. You know what I mean? You're going to be a great player one day. Yeah. And this is what Arteta needs to be doing a bit more with Ethan. Yeah. He needs to be like, I don't know whether he does this or he doesn't, but he needs to show him a bit more love. Yeah. Even, you know what I mean? Even if it's 10, 15 minutes of a game where we're cruising, give him some game time. Yeah. Give him some game time. Now he ain't linking up with Cheeto. Big up to Mido in the building, man.
Cheeto's in the building.
Big up to him, man.
Big up to Mido. Big up to Red Skull. You know, big up to all the names. That
He's swearing now as well, man. I don't like what Mido's saying. Like, he's got two sentences up there.
I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it.
Wait till you get to him, man. He's talking some horrible language that I don't like seeing.
Mido doing Mido things. Mido doing Mido things.
Yeah, Mido loves the wind up thing.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, the fans have to demand that Ethan play, bro. They have to send a message because the manager will not play him on his own. Vigilante said the board should do more to hold the medical staff. They have to. I mean, I'm sure they do like a quarterly review, especially when you have like unprecedented injuries, or because the medical staff and the trainers work together when they're doing their warm down. Because, you know, you go to games and you see these men play 90 minutes and they come right out and just start sprinting up and down the pitch and doing their warm downs. You know, sometimes I'll be like, damn, man, that is a matter. I feel like all Arteta coach needs a second rebuild. Yeah, bro, your sentiments are very well heard around these parts, Red Skull. AJ alongside Gyökeres would be good enough. Wouldn't mind those options as well. I hear it. You know, I hear it, man. I hear it. But bro. What's his name? The Sesko thing is probably going to be Sesko. I'm resigned to the fact that it's going to be Sesko because, you know, it makes it easy for Arteta to still play Havertz. Gyökeres will create a problem for him that he doesn't want, you know. So I think it's going to be Sesko all the way.
How you feel? How you kind of like? It seems like you kind of resigned to Sesko coming in now, probably on lower wages as well, because that's going to be a big thing as well for Arsenal, isn't it? The wages. Sesko's, you know, probably going to come in for a lot cheaper. What if we do eventually get Sesko? Yeah, are you happy with that? Are you know, I lay my beds, you know what I mean, resting it. You're gonna be, you're happy with that?
I mean, I'm not happy with it. I hope he bangs, but what I want them to do is, if Sesko is your guy, do it. Right? Just do it. Go get it done now so he can have an advantage. Don't put him at a disadvantage and then bringing him in October 1st or July 29th. And then the season starts in 2 weeks and then he's off the boil. If that's your man, go get him and do your business. You know, the Vigilante is, see this right here? The Vigilante got Timber. It got Ben White instead of Timber starting in his starting lineup. Whoa. Yeah, so then you know, 29. Yeah, I believe this. I believe this. Bro.
Yeah. Actually, Timber's gonna be injured, isn't it? Timber's gonna be injured start of the season.
Yeah, I think Zubimendi goes there instead of Moreno.
Moreno?
Yeah, I think Zubimendi starts in the CM instead of Moreno. But yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one. That's gonna be I've never done one of those shows where it's predicted starting 11, but this year I'll be doing one for that game.
Yeah, and you know the first 6 games, it's gonna be really good. I'm gonna see if I can do watch alongs for all of them. There's some really good games, man.
Yeah,
really tough games as well.
Yeah, leading up to that one, man like Mido, man like Mido gonna be doing a whole lot of trolling and talking leading up to that.
Maybach music.
you know. But big up to men like E. Ross again, man. E. Ross took a vacation.
I think this is the only place that E. Ross has got his own.
E. Ross went shopping in Paris, man, with his girl. We caught you, bro. We found you. So I was out here biting people and shit. Yeah, bro. Man was out here having a whole meal while scoring goals, eating flesh, rare steaks and that. Suarez was a prick, but he was a bad boy striker. Yeah, bro. We got nice guy Havertz who can't score goals. You know what I mean?
The thing is, Havertz isn't always nice on the pitch either. He's got a little bit. It's not right. It's the wrong type of energy.
Yeah, and I think he was talking about shithousery. We're talking about MLS got some shithousery in them as well. Yeah, he does. He doesn't take any. He doesn't back down.
Yeah.
Even Gabriel has calmed down. Yeah, man. Romario didn't play in the deadliest 18 strikers I've ever seen, bro. These kids will never know. I've seen the clip of that man at 57 years old taking souls. Yeah, this Romario. These kids will never, ever know. Mr. Battered, another Liverpool fan, fully out here. Big up to you, bro.
We're getting linked with everyone, brother. I'm hearing Arsenal believe, but I don't like this football 365. Arsenal believe 42 million bid enough to sign Real Madrid star Camavinga. See, I don't all of this rubbish that we're
playing left back.
Huh? Yeah,
play left back.
Yeah.
Oh man, would you take Tchouaméni? He seems to be odd one out at Real Madrid midfield. He seems to be the
yeah. Oh, as a Partey replacement.
Yeah, he seems to be.
I'll take. Yeah, of course I would. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever let Camavinga go because he is so versatile.
Yeah,
you know, he can play left back, he can carry the ball well. But Tchouaméni, you know, I don't know, man. Yeah,
Tchouaméni's he's been playing centre back recently as well for cover, isn't it?
Said that Hooks convo was mad. It ain't gonna work because you got too many ballers in the team. I don't know what Hooks be saying. Sometimes, like Hooks on his own channel be calm and cool, but then Hooks goes on a panel and turns into Egal, bro. I be like, what the hell, man? Hooks, that brother,
Egal, you know.
Yeah,
bro, Egal.
Craziness, and even the Liverpool fans that come into our chat tells us the reason why we hate you, man, is because of Egal. And some of the takes that Hooks be making. So we're out here paying for the crimes.
Hooks talk about expectation. And it's you know what I love about Hooks, is that he do the explaining thing, innit?
Yeah.
It take ages to explain.
Yeah, you know what, yeah. You know what, yeah.
Yeah, you know what, yeah. To work it up, yeah. You know what, yeah.
The build up.
See my team. The build up, and then do you know what? The delivery. Sometimes the delivery is wicked, but sometimes it's like, bro, come on, man, please.
Oh, so this is what you were talking about with Vito.
Yeah, look at this swearing.
You know what? Just for that comment, yeah, we don't play that. Don't even come around here with that. We are not. You get one.
Time out, people, man.
Yeah. You get one more slap for nah, man. You are not doing that. You already got what we gave him, Cheeto and Heaven.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. He says it right here. Yeah, Cheeto in Heaven. Right. Yeah,
link up where?
We ain't trying to hear that, man. We are not trying to hear that madness. Get out of here. LFC Master say, Godfrey, I don't think so. I feel like we're doing things behind the scenes with Isak. If that doesn't work out, Eketike is our backup option. The club likes both Sesko and Gyökeres, but 3 or 4 on the list. I think Gyökeres go to Liverpool. He'd bang as well.
Oh, can you imagine?
But it can be Isak. I did a stream on that like back in December when I was like, no, these men get Isak. They might do an invincible, bro. It'd be curtains. You know, it'd be a cheat.
The only way they won't is if certain man get injured in their team, innit?
Yeah. Yeah, certain man.
But who would you? So I keep seeing that the payment for Sesko is too high. Do you think we're still going to negotiate something dropped, or payments? Because Arteta wants Sesko 100%, isn't it? So it's looking more likely like him. But is there any kind of way that, well, we're not playing ball now, we're not dropping our prices, and then Sesko comes into the conversation? I mean, sorry, Gyökeres comes into the conversation.
So the thing that I've heard, Fabrizio has said about the Sesko thing is not Arsenal are overpaying for him. The release clause is is like 61 or 51 million, but Arsenal are going to make 3 installments that's going to slightly overpay. So we're actually paying more because we're not paying the release clause.
Oh.
Yeah, those are for Fabrizio's.
Is that for the PSR? Is that because of PSR though? Is that why we do it to long it out?
I guess, but it's I don't. Liverpool paying in installments the 116, or they're dropping 100 mil on the table because we got more over the past 2 seasons. We got more payout in the Premier League than Liverpool. We've had 350 million pounds for our second place finishes, and this year we had over 100 million pounds from the Champions League. So the club is making, and that doesn't include match day revenue, merch, none of that stuff. That's just TV revenue from the competitions that we're in. You know, so PSR and it may be because we sell so poorly, right? Maybe it's because we take so many losses on players that we pay these ridiculous fees for and put them on these bad contracts, and then we can't get rid of them. It's crazy. Shouldn't be the first effort to go get Rodrigo, improve our left wing, which would make the other top players go. Arsenal are serious. Yeah. I want to play alongside that baller. How does Sesko inspire confidence? The same way Havertz doesn't. When we finished second that first year and then Havertz was the marquee signing, that didn't inspire the players to believe they're going to go win the league. Yeah. You know? But, man, this club. Boy tends to note the Tchouaméni. Fair. He doesn't rate Tchouaméni. But I think Tchouaméni
squad at this
is the one that would be most likely to leave that midfield. Yeah. It's going to be Camavinga, Bellingham, and someone else in that midfield.
The thing is, Tchouaméni makes our team better. I'm not saying that we have to go out for him, right now. But when you think of a squad game and you think of players, a player like Tchouaméni coming in for Partey, then we wouldn't have to, be so okay. It's that bad.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that upsets me about our midfield issue right now is that if you're telling me we have 12 months to give a player, don't give those 12 months to Sambi. If you're gonna take the hit, take it on him. Give it to Partey. The reason why Declan was able to do any of that stuff that he was able to do against Real Madrid is because Partey was just so press resistant. He couldn't get. So Declan could do his thing. Sambi can't do that. Sometimes when you watch Partey play in the first 5 minutes of the game, you know what kind of Arsenal game is going to be. When he gets the ball, he looks sharp and crisp, and he's cutting and he's sharp and he's spraying those passes. You like, their midfield going to be running today. And then Odegaard, his air flicks starting to go. He's like, okay, Partey is on it today, so we can do this.
Lukonga, you're not getting that. You're not getting that with Lukonga.
Yeah. Marino can't do that. None of these, man, because Partey isn't fast. Rice isn't blistering place, but I've seen them two completely dominate the Chelsea midfield. We slapped them man for 5 at the Emirates. You know what I mean? The year before that, they were 3-0 down at halftime with Partey in the midfield doing general Partey things. We know the boy can cook. Now, I know going to next season, his production wouldn't have been what it was this year because part of it, I believe, he was playing for a new contract.
Yeah.
You don't give it to him. He feels betrayed. And the other players see this shit, bro. Yeah. Other players will see like, damn, they're not giving Thomas a contract and he was bossing it last year. Yeah. So, okay, it's business. Okay. Saliba go make a business decision and leave us. And I better not see any fan, racially abuse him or do any kind of madness. The Manchester Divided ruined Pogba. There's a list in there. Martial, Anthony, Manu. They still want more man to ruin. That's what they do. I hope they ruin Cunha too. Yeah. Give that a minute. Hooks will appear on the radar and roasted on YouTube, bro. Hooks is such a cool brother, though, man. But
he's doing well, man. He's doing well. He's doing well in the game.
Hooks, tone it down a little bit, man. Tone it down a little bit. We haven't heard anything concrete around Sesko besides the fact that we ain't paying 80 to 100 mil. We still haven't agreed to personal terms. So yeah, we're not haggling, but we're not even at the haggling phase. Liverpool 100 up front. See, yeah, we're out here pinching pennies, and Liverpool is just that, bro. Here's 100 million, big boy shit. Boss. Yeah. Ethan come to Liverpool, fella. In 2 years, he'll be space.
He would cook at a team like Liverpool.
Yeah, well.
I hate to see it because that's the style, isn't it? That style. Telling you,
bro, he be bending him in the top bins.
Telling you,
all over the place and playing. It's like clean on through. Think of it this way, boy. Tessa, we pay our transfer fees over time. We currently have a transfer budget of 100 million. That 100 million must serve for signings. So we clarinet it. Oh Jesus Christ! So is that big club vibes?
Nah, not at all.
Is that club vibes because I mean we punched Chelsea up for spending $1 billion in a calendar year. I'm pretty sure they spent a lot of that money up front. Ethan ain't going to United. He'll go to Germany most likely if he's leaving. But we cannot let him leave. We cannot let this happen. We cannot let this happen, bro. Because if we let this happen and say we don't do like first refusal, in 2 years he's a £100 million player. Is Sesko an option? It's all beyond the norm. The more Arsenal spend, the further we fall. Why does Sesko is an option because Arteta wants it, man. He has a heavy hand in recruiting by all the media outlets says a heavy hand in sorting. Bill up to say Che LFC forever. Big up to
big up Che, man.
Big up, man. The Liverpool fans, man. They're just out. And I envy him. Can't lie, it's going to be a good thing. Arsenal haven't spent any money with everyone else making moves. Unlikely you're doing top 4. I agree with this, Shay. I actually believe that Stan Kroenke, Arteta are praying that the English teams do well in Europe next year to maintain our coefficient and can still get 5 slots. Because if the Premier League lose that 5th slot and it's only 4, we're not playing Champions League football the following season. We're not. Not with this manager. If this manager stays in charge. At least Arteta will get fired. Hey, no one will complain about that around these parts. He's not at 8 anyway. He's a 6. It's a sickness that Arteta is playing him in the 8. Yeah, Rice does his best work protecting that back 4, boy. 10. I completely agree. No point in Arteta spending too much in his last season. I hear it because I was on here saying that in January. I'm not sure I give him any more money to spend, but here I am complaining that we're not spending money.
That's a great point, man. No point. Yeah, definitely. A lot of people are saying that as well.
Yeah, because I believe slow start and he has to go. On the other hand, Birds, Frimpong, Kirkes, maybe Isak.
Yeah. And maybe Gay as well. Is it Gay at the back as well?
Yeah, see, look at it. Look at this. Man is out here doing business because Leverkusen will gladly take on a £15,000 a week contract and pay him 20. Arsenal take you on a 15. We're going to give you 120. And then you become 4th. No one. AC Milan, they're not in Champions League. They finished 7th or 8th or some shit. Exactly. So they can't afford that. So let's exploit them for that. Let's go get Leao. Leah, you want to?
Why are we not going out to get Leao? Why?
Because it makes too much sense. We're Hyena FC. Everything we do is ass backwards, bro. There was a report in the Athletic that says apparently we said we can spend 700 mil this summer and still be within PSR. Hey, do it. Wow. Do it, damn it. Do it. And just run away with the league and see what excuses they will come up with.
And Champions League as well.
Yeah. It's not the big clubs movement paying all the transfer via Klarna. But what we do. We shop around for and this is what we did in that first year when he spent 150 mil. That's how we ended up with Sambi. That's still here. Nuno Tavares. And again, what else did he buy in that first year?
Vieira? Yeah.
No, he was the year after. I think it was Pablo Mari and all these other here. Just bad business. Kroenkes don't seem to have a plan B. Neither does Arteta. That's why they met so well. You know what I mean? When plan A works, he looks great. But when it doesn't, that's when he's supposed to earn his money. He's standing there doing this, playing with his chin. He would be beautiful, especially with Konate rumors. And that's when Liverpool are being proactive. Yeah. Very, very proactive.
Because they know City are coming, man. They know City that
it makes too much sense. Eros FX BBK, yeah, bro. Because City right now they're starting most of their signings that they signed this window. Turkey started. They're having a preseason using this damn tournament as their preseason to decide how they want to play. Man City are not fucking around. They are here. I have no idea. I'm guessing it's because we spent very little in the past 3 years. Okay, over the 700 million. So yeah, imagine spending 12 million and still walk the league, and now you can throw your ass around. Do it. Liverpool have a huge spending power. Klopp was more interested in players from the academy than buying in the market. Hey, fair. Cash on cash on cash. Cash on cash on cash. Gavin says, facts. The assemblage of Liverpool are putting together a squad like City. City pool. That's what we talked about last week, right? They're talking past us.
Yep.
You know, they're talking past us. They ain't even trying to be like, hey, little bro, you had your chance and you didn't must. You did not must. But yeah, finally got through all the comments. I had to big up the chats. It's always legendary. Bro, big up to everyone that tuned in. Make sure you're subscribing to Waffle Don TV. Subscribe to BBK Sports if you are new as well, people. Doing any watch-alongs today, bro, for any Club World Cup games or anything like that?
I don't know, man. I'm too hot to even bother, man. There's Chelsea game, isn't it?
Yeah, Chelsea play.
Flamengo.
Yes, got beat yesterday off of both.
Yeah.
So
got so, innit?
Decent games.
Yeah. Maybe Chelsea Flamengo. I might do. I don't know, man. I'm hot, man.
Okay.
I'm hot.
All right, people, tune into Waffle TV just to see people if he's doing a watch along. Make sure you have your notifications on. Let me get through these last couple, and then we get out of here. A coach that actually has a sincere interest in youth can transform club spending power. Facts, big facts, boy 10. Arteta don't like our youth though. So our spending power went up in smoke. That is a great comment. Yeah, that is a great comment. Might even be comment of the day. City preseason started. They signed 10 players since January, one right back. Yeah. City are, bro. City pool. It is City pool, and then Arsenal will fall where they may. Cheers to BBK Sports, says Hendo. Cheers to you, my friend. Thank you all for tuning in and letting us know what you think today. Let us know what's on your mind, whether it was good or bad. I can take it. We are not scared of Arsenal banter because we banter the club ourselves. You know them ones. But big up to every single one of you that tuned in today. Make sure you are hitting those likes on the way out. Subscribe to Waffle Don. Until next time.
One more quick thing. Please, people, yeah. TKA, go and subscribe to my boy TKA. Let's get him to 100 subs, yeah. You know what I mean? Arsenal fan as well. Talks to realists as well. So it's TKA, Tango, Kilo, Alpha. Go and look him up. Reds logo. Go and subscribe to him, people. Big up
to TK. And thank you, Shay, LFC Forever. Thank you. Appreciate you subbing to the channel. And then, we envy you. You're the envy of every football fan right now. But still, you know, we move. Don't. Until next time, people, take care of yourselves and each other. We are gone.